Hello muffins, hello. This video is all about storyboarding. So what we're going to look at today is an example of a storyboard. So I have used Jurassic World as my example for how to storyboard, and you're going to be storyboarding for your screenplay, for your coursework, a moment from your screenplay. You're not even probably going to storyboard a whole scene, let alone a whole screenplay. That would be madness. Task would be absolutely huge. So it needs to be a little moment. We're looking for something that equates to around 2 minutes. Really, we want like 20-ish shots for your storyboard. Okay. It depends whether it's on the editing style. If it's going to be really pacey, then it might be like, could be like, this scene we're going to look at is like 1 minute and it's about 20 shots. So it really depends on the editing style of the scene that you've chosen. um so it kind of like, it's a little bit fluid in that way, but you're looking for around about 20 shots. And you have a template that you're going to follow. For the template that you're going to follow, the pictures and the notes, so you've got the notes down one side, you've got the pictures down the other, just like in this example that we're going to look at here. It doesn't matter if on our template we've got the images on the other side and the notes on the other side. That doesn't really matter, so don't worry about that. So let's have a look at our Jurassic World video. Here it comes. So we're going to be looking at 1 minute from Jurassic World, and it starts around about 37 seconds.
Stand down. Stand
1
down.
minute is it.
Hey! What did I just say? Belt up. I see you. Back up. Okay. Good. Charlie. Stay right there. Good. Close the gate. Are you crazy? Hey, just trust me. Close the gate.
There you go, that's about a minute, and that is about 20 shots for the purposes of our storyboard. So let's have a look at it. It just occurred to me then that it's kind of got sort of like melodic heartbeat going on all the way through, which I think is just interesting. It's funny with these scenes, you study them and then every time you watch them you see something new or hear something new. So let's take a look at what goes into the storyboard. I'm going to go in quite close now on, because I just want us to look at these notes. Okay, so this text down the side. So you'll have a shot number, shot type, medium close up here of Owen, and then when we have action, that's like you telling me what is happening in that moment. It'll be taken directly from your screenplay. And cinematography, we have got shallow focus on Owen, and also it's kind of like the camera is moving slightly, so you can see I've put the red arrows on top of the image there tell me that there's camera movement in there as well, and the yellow arrows tell me that there is actor movement. So there should be in cinematography there, I do need to put shallow focus on Owen. It's kind of a dolly. I'll add one more line in there, dolly to the right. Pop that in there. The sound, we've got a fade in of some tense violin music and some magical harp sounds. That's to connote that Owen is somehow putting these raptors under his spell, because he's that good of a raptor wrangler. Okay, and then we've got dialogue, stand down. That's dialogue you're going to take directly from your screenplay. Duration, that's the duration of the shot, how long it is. So this shot here, 2 seconds long. And transition cut, I want you to keep all of your transitions classy. The transition is the type of edit. So a cross dissolve might connote the passing of time, or entering or exiting some kind of subjective filmmaking techniques like a dream state. But what we've got here is like all these edits are just a pretty classic. That's what we want you to do as well. Some nice classic types of edit. If I go back, and then we've got kind of like, is this from Owen's perspective? This could be an Owen point of view shot, really. Then you've got shot number 2. It's a medium shot of Blue snarls and snaps at Owen towards the camera. I'm going to put in there. It's funny, every time you do these, you see different things. Owen POV, I'll add there. So it's kind of like Owen's point of view here. And what I noticed about the cinematography there is that the camera kind of like does a little shudder when the dinosaur snaps. So we really feel this moment in his perspective. Dialogue, there isn't any dialogue in here because Blue is not talking, and it's just 1 second. I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm just going to go through. You can see that it's all sort of like pretty standard. So you have the description of the action, you have the sound, like which is like the music or any like foley that's been put on top of it. So we've got things like raptor squeals, tense violin music, heartbeats, that type of thing. Duration was 3 seconds to that one. Now I'm just panning up to this one because we've got a yellow arrow here. So yellow connotes the movement of the actors. In this case, I've kind of done it as like the movement of the raptors because they're starting to circle him. And what we've got here, which I think is a really nice technique, you have the sort of like the camera moving one way and then the camera moves another way. It's as if it's stalking. It's as if it's kind of like in the circle with the dinosaurs. Like it's going this way and then it's going this way. So lots of very subtle camera movements here. This is the amount of notes that we're expecting in your storyboards. Okay, so an action, so something like Owen looks off screen right towards Delta, and there's a yellow arrow to connote that he's kind of like the intent of the actor is going in that direction. And then like lots of detail. The storyboard is your opportunity to demonstrate to me when I'm marking your coursework that you know when to edit, when to cut to close up. You know when you need a reaction shot, when you need that shot reverse shot. You don't talk about camera at all in the screenplay. That is a big no for us. The storyboard here, this is where you get to show me that you understand cinematography and editing, and some elements of sound as well. So you've got to show me in these notes that you understand the importance of these things, when music should come in and out, when particular shots should be cut to. And so this is what we're looking for. When I'm marking your coursework, if you're doing the screenplay and storyboard action, in the screenplay you can talk about mise en scène, you can talk about like character and location a lot. You get marks for mise en scène and narrative structure through like the screenplay, but it's the storyboard where I'm looking to find marks to award you for your understanding of cinematography, editing, and these other elements. We just scroll down, as we can see, we've got like lots of dynamic movement in the scene. We've got cutaways. We've got like Owen speaking off screen here in shot number 10. I've got the camera sort of like pacing, moving. I think we've got a little fourth wall break there in shot number 13. Hello, Owen. Hey, just trust me. A few cutaways to new guy. There's a particular bit I'm looking for. Here we go. This is the bit. Okay, so this character's name was Barry. And with this particular moment, there's a lot of like movement here. And if you've got like a little bit of movement in a scene where the camera is really moving from one place to another, you can have something called, we call it like a split shot. And this is an example here of a split shot. So we've got Barry here at the top, shot 15A. And then if you look at the shot number for the shot below it, it says 15B. And there's a big red arrow that's connecting these two. So what we've got here is an indicating through the storyboard that the shot number 15 will begin looking like this at the top. So 15A is where the shot begins. And then shot 15B, we have this movement, and then he's like pushing that button. So that's where the shot ends. So if you've got a really snazzy bit of camera movement, I would recommend it in your storyboard, because it means as the marker, I can look at it and be like, oh, they've done something interesting in the storyboard. If you can give me an interesting bit of cinematography, it could be like a 360 degrees sort of like spin around the character, could be a focus throw or a focus pull, all the whizzy bits of cinematography. You might need to, in your storyboard, use like a 15A, 15B. You could maybe even go to a 15C if there's several phases to this particular bit of movement, but that's quite unusual. And that is what it should look like here in the screen. Okay, I think we're coming to sort of like to the end of things now, but there's just what we want here is this level of like notes. So Owen sort of like slides into focus. I'm looking at shot 20 now. Sound, so the sound of the gate shutting and the raptors butting heads against the bars. Oh, why did I not put a duration on there? Oh, that's what I've done there. I've put the duration of the dialogue in the wrong. I'd marked myself down for that. Whoops. So we've got like just 3 seconds there, no dialogue, but all this, like here we've got raptors roar, Owen footsteps. You need to show me that within this storyboard that you know how to put a scene together, just a scene, just like this. This is just a moment. It's not a whole scene. The whole scene's about 5 minutes long. This is just 1 minute of that scene, 20 shots, and it's a few lines of dialogue from the screenplay. The action descriptors come from the screenplay, but what you'll be doing in your coursework is you'll be showing me that you know how to visualize that very specific moment that you have written in your screenplay. Now we know that when you come round to creating your storyboards, that you might not have perfect mise en scène or perfect costumes or perfect actors. That's okay. The mise en scène is mostly marked in your screenplay. Okay, so you've written your descriptors, we read that first, we know what it is you want and what you're looking for in the actors and the locations and things. The majority of the mise en scène marks are going to be there, but you will get marks for like if you get some costumes, props in these photographs for your storyboard, you need to have made an effort with actors of the right kind of like vintage, putting them in costumes. You've made an effort. Like if your screenplay is set on like a spaceship, then we're not expecting you to build one, but maybe make an effort with the mise en scène. Find a place that you think would do a good replication of it. You are allowed to use 3 found shots. So if you're doing something like a spaceship, or if there's an explosion, or if there's a dragon, you're obviously not going to be able to find, you're not going to be able to take those images yourself. So you are allowed to use found images or existing images 3 times. That should be for like big establishing shops. If there's like a mountain or a spaceship or the ocean, something you can't go and take a picture of very easily, you are allowed to use that there. And if you decide that you're going to use those found shots, then you need to put the URL like underneath the image so that you're like clearly saying this is an image that I found, not an image that I've taken. It all has to be photography. We can't have any like drawn like sections. You have to look through a camera for film studies coursework, so no sketched or drawn ones, please. You're not allowed to use any footage from like video games or anything like that you've set up. It has to be a photograph that you have taken yourself, and they should be in focus. They should be well lit. You need to show that you can take some good images. You'll be marked on the quality of the images and the quality of the notes. Okay, and we've got some student examples that we'll be showing you in class, but this is your little walkthrough. Let me go right back up to the top here where he's like, hey, trust me, stand down. So this is our little example of how it should look when it's completed. We're going to do some practice runs in the classroom. You're going to look at some examples too, but here is your video that you can go back to anytime you like and just have a little reminder of like what should the storyboard look like, what's the level of detail that we're looking at. Okay, good luck. See you on the other side. Okay, muffins. Bye bye.